Hello friends, welcome to Code Smarts. So in this video we will try to understand how to download the .NET and create your ASP.NET Web API. So what are the required tools basically? If you go to the official documentation here, so first of all you need the IDE like Visual Studio 2022. So here is the download link I will provide in the description of the video. Okay. So once you click on community, you have to download the community version because it's free for the students. And while downloading the Visual Studio, make sure that ASP.NET and web development has been checkmarked because it's required to create your project. And once your Visual Studio 2022 has been installed, then you have to download the .NET SDK. So you will download .NET 8.0 because it's long-term support. Okay, so once your .NET and Visual Studio has been set up, so then you have to download your SQL Server to connect with your database. So here is the link, and you have to download this SQL Server Developer 2022. So while downloading the SQL Server, you have to note down your server name because it will required when you will connect your database. And after that you have to download the SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, from here you download SSMS 21. So once your Visual Studio, .NET SDK and SQL Server and SQL Server Management Studio, these four things has been downloaded and installed, then your system is ready to create a web API. Just you can see I have already downloaded Visual Studio 2022 and so I have already created my project. If you want to create, then you have to go to your file option, create new, and just create the project. And while creating the project, you have to make sure that ASP.NET Core Web API template you have to select. Okay, and once it has been selected, then you will go to next and you will give the name of your application. So I will not create again since I have already created my project for the demo purpose. Okay, so these things must like .NET SDK and Visual Studio and SQL Server to connect with your database. So once your SQL Server has been downloaded, here you will see the SQL Server configuration manager. So you can stop or run your server. Since I have connected with my database, so it's already running state. If you want to stop, then just click on right click and here you can stop it. Okay. So my server is running and here is my SQL database connection. It's already connected. So if I disconnect and click on connect again, so here you can see I have passed the server name. So when you download your SQL Server, you have to make note of your SQL Server name. Okay, and you have to use Windows authentication because it's local. So here you can see it will be connected. Okay, so it's connected to my database. And now let's come to the file and folder structure of the application. Here is the solution file. So basically one solution can contain multiple projects. Here I have the only one web API project, and if you double click on the web API, so here you can see cs proj file. Okay, .cs proj file. So it's basically contains all the dependencies of our application. Like we are using .NET 8 and I have installed the entity framework to connect with my database. Okay, and so whatever the NuGet package you will download, it will appear here in this file only. And if you come to the launch setting.json file, so it's basically development configuration file. like when you will run your application, that will run on which local host port number. So here you can see I am using the HTTPS. If you click on this drop down, so you will see the multiple like HTTP, IS, Express, so different mode of running your application. So I am using the by default Google Chrome. When I will run my application, then it will by default open on Chrome only. Okay, so here you can see launch setting, and controller basically contains all our request endpoints, like by default weather forecast has been created by itself uh, when I create my project, and here I have added my own controller, employee controller. Okay, so in this controller I have simply added the CRUD operation like create, added, update, delete. So we are just adding the employee. Okay, add employee, and here get all employees, get employee by ID, and update employee. So it's all contains my endpoints. Okay, and here data, so whatever the logic related to database, it will go here. It will basically map our model to the table of our database. So here you can see employee model db set, so it will map with my employee table in the database. Okay, so here I have created the employee model, means entity of the employee, like our employee table will contain what are the keys basically. And here is the app setting.json file, so it basically contains the connection string of our database and all the logging information. We also manage our environment related settings, and most important is program.cs file. So when we run our project, first of all it will scan this file, it will bootstrap our application, and here you can see it's a builder variable. We are creating the web application, and it will add inject our services, so dependency injection basically we call it. So we inject our services, and here is the middleware, like it will handle the HTTP request and response, and then it will run our application. Okay, so this is the basic demo regarding how basically web API looks like and what are the file structure of this application. Okay, so just let me run my application. I'm just clicking on it, and it will just run my application. Okay, meanwhile while it's running, now let's come to this uh, SQL Server database. So here you can see I have created my own database. Okay, web API demo DB. Okay, so in this we are using this database demo DB. If I expand it, so here you can see I have the tables. Okay, it's expanding, taking time. So here you can see my application has been running now. Okay, so here is the dbo.employee table. Okay, so this table we are using for the demo purpose, like we are using the CRUD operation, adding the employee, updating it, and get all employee, get employee by ID, and delete it. So basically a simple CRUD operation to make you just a demo purpose how basically it's work with the database. Okay, here you can see my Swagger is loading, and once it has been loaded, then I will just run my, here you can see if I want to add a suppose we want to add an employee. Okay, so let me give its name like Rakesh, department IT, salary whatever you want to give, like 50,000. Okay, so if I execute this code, So it will just add this employee in our database. Okay, so it's taking time. It should not take. Okay, here you can see I have added this Rakesh and IT, and if I get all the employees in my database, so let me try it out. Here you can see all the here is 2 employees in the table. Okay, Ravi Kumar Yadav and Rakesh. So if I get it by ID, so you have to just give its ID and it will. Here if I get it one ID, get by ID. Here you can see got the employee. Okay, so basically we have used the CRUD operation in this application and make sure that how our web API basically works. Okay, so just see I have created my own employee controller. Okay, and by default when you create your application, this will create a by default controller weather forecast. So if I click on this, try it out, execute, then you can see we are getting this response, temperature and date. Okay, so this was the basic demo regarding web API, how to set up it on your system and how to run it. Okay, and you can find this code on my repository. Here is my ASP.NET Web API. If you click on it, and you can just click on code, it will show you the repository URL. Okay, copy paste and git clone. Okay, so this was the simple demo regarding how to set up your web API on our system. So all these links I will give in the description of the video regarding where to find the .NET, yes, and this Visual Studio, all these links. Okay, so this was how we can create our web API, and later on we will just consume this API in our Angular project. So basically it will be a full stack Angular and .NET, and we will work on this Angular as a front end and .NET as a back end. So we will enhance our learning in the coming future regarding web API and Angular. So if you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.